Timmy, I'm looking at the analytics here of our podcast. I was looking at this the other day as well. We've had people in 10 different countries. Can you name 4 of the countries that people have listened to the podcast?
United States of America.
Yes.
Canada.
Yes.
India.
No.
No?
No.
The fuck? Argentina.
I'll continue with them. Mexico, United Kingdom, Morocco, Kuwait, Australia, Malaysia, Germany, Netherlands. Pretty wild, dude. We also had our last podcast with Davey is already our most listened to podcast ever. That being said, Timmy, we're getting a ton of new listeners from all around the country and all around the world. If you are listening, we'd love to hear from you. You can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Business and BS. No podcast on that. Screenshot it, tag us in your Instagram stories. We'd love to hear feedback, good, bad, indifferent. It's all good to us. Today's episode is brought to you by Our City Coffee.
Coffee brand that we created ourselves in Los Angeles to help fuel people and give back to the local community.
Right now, every bag that is sold equals one kid in Los Angeles that gets fed. If you like coffee and you like kids, or even if you don't like kids, go to ourcitycoffee.com. Use the code BS for 15% off right now. We're back in Cleveland, Ohio, where we're from. Technically, we're in our studio right now.
In the land, man.
Back in it. Our studio being our mother's family room for this week of podcasts. I had put up a post on Facebook a couple of days ago saying, hey, we're back in Cleveland. We'd love to talk to cool people that have cool businesses. And got, I don't know, the most comments I ever got on a Facebook post, like 40. I never post on Facebook. But I got a bunch of comments back and a bunch of people. So we linked up with a couple to talk to them about what they do. First up of the group is the siskiss.com. And we got one of the sisses. Is this sis, Timmy? Sisters?
One of the sisses.
One of the sisses of the sisters. That's how Kyla would say it. We got one of the sisters, Megan, to come sit down with us and chat in our mother's living room.
So the siskiss.com is a jewelry fashion site that she started from scratch, really.
Dude,
her and her
wild.
sister, and has grown it into being into potentially New York Fashion Week next year.
Dude, it was super cool. Super cool story. I don't know the first thing about jewelry. You don't know the first thing about jewelry.
I knew what a bangle was, though.
You did know what a bangle was, surprisingly. Yeah. She happens to be, she lives across the street from our other brother, George, and our sister-in-law, Jill, works for her. So that was our connect, and they were the ones that put us in touch with her. But they're like, she's really cool and has a cool business, and that's all that we knew going into it. But it was really cool to hear her talk about how the process of the business started. She works with tons of influencers now, and how that works, how she chooses them, how her creative process works, and how her and her sister work together. Also, Timmy and I think, are getting rings out of this one. Our first ever gift on a podcast. This was a lot of fun. We thank you for listening and hope you enjoy. So when I got my first tattoo, it was this Joker right on here. Mm-hmm. And it was me and 11 other guys went in. We actually shut down the tattoo place. It actually started from it was summer after we turned 18. And we were all drinking at somebody's house. And one of the guys was like, I'm going to get a tattoo tomorrow. And I'm like, oh. And I never thought about getting a tattoo ever in my life. And then the rest of us, it like kind of started to trickle, and we're chucking down natty lights. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's all get like the same tattoo, but like kind of different. So we all have Jokers. They're all different. But like mine is this. One guy has a long Joker, and it's a full body Joker on his forearm, and then one's on his back and leg. And so they're all different, but same-ish.
But
so,
they're still your friends?
Not one of them.
Yeah.
One guy, like, we talked to, he got married. I didn't go to his wedding. Like, I wasn't invited to his wedding. Like, we're not close, but I'll talk to.
They're not close, but they have tattoos that match.
Yeah. Well, right. Some of them are still friends. Right. 2 of them are dead.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah. Overdoses.
Oh.
Yep. One was before we were 30. I'm 35. So one was before 30. One was before 33. Yeah. So.
That's sad.
So it was like, we had our fun, but then they kept like doing more and more and more, and not have fun forever, but they were just doing more drugs and stuff. And I just kind of was like, all right, I'm
peacing out, good
on this stuff. Yeah. You know,
I'm gonna get a new tattoo.
Like you said. I still like the tattoo, and I like the thought of like, even if you get a shitty tattoo, it was still like, for you got a shitty tattoo at 18, but it still was like a fun like experience, a story. Yeah.
I just wish I would have given it some thought.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
What is that buzz?
I don't know. I just heard it.
It's not me.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
What does that mean? Oh,
I
no.
don't know.
It's a new setup here.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe something was just
Whatever
loose.
you did
Yeah.
was great.
I just like
Yeah.
You
popped it back
plugged
in. We are live from our mother's living room. This
from
isn't a
Westlake,
living room.
Ohio. Family room, living room.
Family room?
Front room.
What do you call these?
I don't know what she calls
I don't know why
it.
they call it. Well, it's where her Christmas tree is.
Yep.
The mailman's pulling up right now. Hopefully he's not going to ring the doorbell.
Well, he's not going to deliver you presents.
Yeah. Well,
No,
no, he's
yeah.
not. And why do mailmen like ring doorbells now?
Well, I don't know if he has.
Yes.
If they
Yes.
have,
Yes,
you have to
they
have
do.
gifts.
You obviously don't have a dog.
No.
No,
You would know who rings your doorbell if you have a
Just-
dog.
just goes off.
Well, we live in an apartment complex, so they just drop it off in the mailbox anyways.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, everybody. Well, and because of my business, I have so many deliveries a day. So it's a constant fight with the dog. And I'm like, you know her now.
Yeah.
It's every day.
Yeah.
Leave Becky.
Yeah.
Leave Becky alone.
So how? So you operate out of your house.
Yes.
So you're constantly getting stuff in and out.
At least
I'm
3 or
sure.
4 times a day.
Oh wow.
Yes. It's
Uh,
crazy.
So Sis Kiss.
The Sis Kiss, yes.
How old is this? When did you start?
Yeah, let's get
Why?
into the biz.
The why.
Yeah.
Why, when, how?
The why is funny. So my sister and I,
Who's older?
who looks older or who's
I don't know.
older?
I don't know.
So she's older,
Okay.
but she looks much younger. That's her claim to fame.
Okay.
That she's the older one, but she looks really good.
Okay.
So she's 4 years older than me. And she and I liked these bracelets a few years back. And they were like these bangles. Did I lose you guys yet?
Yeah, I don't know what bangles are.
I kind of do.
Do you? Nice, Timmy.
I don't know. I've seen it.
Regardless, I won't
Okay.
make this long.
Yeah.
They never fit us. They were very large. So we were like going out of our minds because it was like the it bracelet of the season. And
Okay.
I wanted it.
Yeah.
So we couldn't find any that fit. So I'm like, you could make this. Like, I started like looking at it because I'm very much like, well, I want this. So how's this going to happen?
Yeah.
You're going to make it for me.
Yeah.
So I bought all this material and she like perfected it. And so then our friends started buying them from us. And then we started making different sizes for different people. And then it got crazy. And here we are. Now nobody makes anything.
Yeah. How long ago was this?
4 years ago.
Okay. So this was your idea. You come in, you're like, hey, let's start doing this thing. But you didn't think it was going to be a business, I assume.
We wrote the business plan after we started seeing that people were buying things from us. We wrote a business plan on a pizza box. My dad did it because
That's
my
great.
dad like always was in accounting
Okay.
and what do we know about accounting? Like we just wanted cute bracelets. So he was like, look, girls. And he was like writing down and we still have the pizza box.
Nice.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you write that out? What were you doing? What was your sister doing at the time?
Marla was my sister, is my sister, and she
Still is,
was
right?
making everything. Yes.
Okay.
And I was selling everything.
But what were you doing work-wise before you started to do
yeah.
this?
I was a lawyer, criminal
Okay.
defense. She's a teacher. She was a teacher.
Okay.
So we both had very, everyday jobs
Uh-huh.
for quite some time. Like I had practiced law for years and she was a teacher for years. And then we both ended up quitting. Neither of us do.
How long did it take you to do that?
I quit like that fall.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that was quick.
So like within a year.
But it wasn't all for the Sis Kiss is not why I quit. I mean,
okay.
there was some other factors.
Got you. So it wasn't like you were making enough money to just say, I'm out.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah, that's not that story.
Okay.
Like, hey, we were crushing it after
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
No, I had some stressful situations with the kind of job I did, and
Sure.
it was just time. It was time.
So when you go, so you're done. How long did it take her to be done with teaching?
She was done, I think, that next year, but it wasn't for the Sis Kiss. It's
Okay.
just funny how things work out. She had a baby. I had my little one. My husband traveled. Her husband traveled.
Okay.
It became tough. We kind of quit at the same sort of time-ish, and the Sis Kiss kept going.
That's cool.
And so it's just been full steam ahead. But that's definitely not why we quit our jobs.
I got you.
But right now, yes, if this situation is what I'm in right now, back then,
You can swing it.
totally, I mean, not even money-wise, workload. There's not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
So this is definitely more than a full-time job.
Sure. When you start then and you get a couple of friends like,
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'll buy it. And then you got to figure out like, all right, well, how do we price this? What do we do?
Exactly.
Was that an issue?
Such an issue because I'm such a, unlike you, a giver.
Yeah. I was saying before we started here that I don't like to give presents for
Oh, that's
Christmas.
right.
It just becomes a thing.
We
Anyway, go
weren't
ahead.
recording.
Yeah.
Backstory.
Yeah.
I like I'm like, here, just have it, like whatever. And then I think that's why my dad finally was like, we're gonna write this down on a pizza box, because I had a boutique come to me and was like, we'd like to buy like wholesale.
How did that happen? Just a friend of a friend knew it.
Yeah.
Saw it.
And cool. Like a local boutique in our hometown, and we knew the owner, and she was like, oh, you girls are making these, like bring them in. And we did, and I took champagne, and it was our first big purchase, and it was a big deal to me, you know. Did you,
and then you probably didn't know like wholesale pricing, and
I knew nothing.
You had to like Google that or something. How'd you figure
that out?
Yeah.
How did you get the materials even?
Like Joanne Fabrics.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
And now that I know better, I'm like, oh my God, the amount of money we spent.
Oh, I'm sure.
On material.
Yeah.
And like dumb stuff, like business cards. Like I'd go to my local printer. Are you kidding me? I'd spend like $100 on like 50 cards.
Jesus.
Like, and I just changed that because I'm a very loyal creature.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, all these people like I know have like Vistaprint. They get like 3,000 cards
for like $50. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So now I know better.
There you go.
And like all my supplies, they aren't coming from Joanne Fabrics.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
So you start that, you get the one local boutique that you know.
Yeah.
You figure out what to price it.
Yeah.
Ish.
Kind of.
I'm sure it's probably different now.
It's an everyday thing.
Sure. Based on like what you're paying per cost and all that. Yeah.
Right.
So once you start doing that, are you thinking at this point like, oh, we got a business here? Or
yes, that's the way I always think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, like when my dad was writing on the pizza box, I can still remember how I felt. Like I felt like this is it.
This is gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just.
And where'd the name come up with?
Literally just because we are cutesy girls that were like, let's make it rhyme. Sis Kiss. So we're sisters.
Was that the first name you guys came up with?
I think we threw around a few.
Okay.
But I can't remember the others.
But that one stuck right away.
That one stuck, yeah. I think I don't know. And it's funny because nobody ever gets it. Like, and I mean like to spell it, like they're all like, is that one word? So, but I don't know if you guys listen to Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like my God. And he's always said like McDonald's is the dumbest name ever, but does it matter?
Yeah.
Like you know who McDonald's is.
Yeah.
So I've always like full steamed ahead with, it doesn't matter. Like this is my name. This
Just
is
rock it.
Yeah. And because people know it. And well, I don't know if enough people know it, but it doesn't matter. They're going to know it.
Right. It's catchy and quick.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Sis Kiss.
Yeah, the Sis Kiss.
And we did change our logo like a year ago because I felt like it needed a little bit updated. And now I feel like it marries the brand.
Okay.
So I feel like little things like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's an easy, I mean, maybe not easy per se.
No,
but
it
like,
was kind of easy though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all been so organic to me. That's what makes it doable and fun.
Sure.
It makes the hard work worth it.
Once you get to the boutique, and then I assume you're trying to get to other boutiques, or what are you trying to do?
So that's a funny story. So I
like
wholesale.
funny stories.
It's not even a funny story, but I never went to another boutique again.
Okay.
But I do sell to boutiques across the United States, but all online. I never physically walked into another boutique. So my style's a little different than I feel like a lot of style around here.
Mm-hmm.
I design, well, we can get into it, but I eventually started designing handbags, and I use a lot of leopard print. Well, in Texas and down south, there's a lot of leopard print, and there's a lot of money. And well, I wasn't visiting these stores, but I joined a boutique hub online, and all the boutique owners are in this hub. So I started throwing out my designs, and then they started coming to me and buying them from me. So then I created a page. So now I have
on the boutique hub.
No, like my own.
Oh, okay.
So I have my own wholesale page where these girls from the hub can come to me and buy my stuff. And so no, I've never visited another local store.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
So you immediately go online. Like
yes.
One boutique, and then you're like, fuck it, let's ride this.
Totally.
Okay.
That's how I do this.
How did you find out about the boutique hub?
My friend, I had like a boutique bestie.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You know what I mean? You
Give
meet
me
these
the insider
girls.
info, yeah.
I met her on Instagram, and she like called me, and I'm like, who's this? Who calls people? You know, like,
right?
But she's like this sweetheart from Texas, and she's like, I wanted to tell you that I want you to be a part of our giveaway, and these girls get vicious, and I don't want you to do anything wrong, so you're not. And I was like, she was really this nice.
Way too nice. Yeah. What do you want?
Yeah. No, I think she's just sweet, and she just kind of laid down the like everything for me. I still to this day credit a lot of what I do because I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for her.
How many boutiques are you in then now?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yes.
For
I have over 1,000 members in my group.
in just of boutique stores.
Just for what I wholesale.
Wow. Is that just United States or is that worldwide?
That's United States for wholesale.
Okay.
Retail I do worldwide.
Okay.
But
So just where I'm trying to timeline it here. So you create the bangles.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's...
I like that you remember they were bangles.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in the game.
Football
I'm a
reference.
giver.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me you're not a Bengals fan.
No.
Okay.
We live in LA, but we're
Still Cleveland
Browns,
fans?
Cavs, tribe, all day.
Okay.
So Bengals, handbags. Is there anything in between, or what was the process like of what you decided you were gonna make?
I don't even know. Like I know we did the bangles for a long time, and my sister would sit on her floor making them, and we didn't have any other products. But we became so busy that she couldn't physically keep up with the order list. Like It was so funny. I would send her an email every night, like, Mom's best friend wants a size medium with 3 stones. Like that's how it started.
Yeah.
And then like a few months later, the list was like 10 people. And then it became like 20 people. And like, we didn't know these people. And then she was becoming so busy that I started looking for other items to sell because I'm very like, hey, what's going on?
Let's go.
She's like, I'm making them. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get something else to do too. Like while you're making all these. So then I started bringing in from vendors other pieces of jewelry. And then I started making the handbags once I found out that there was like this whole boutique hub.
Okay.
And I figured out what their style was pretty quickly, which was very leopard, very cowhide. And I'm down with that. I'm pretty loud and flashy. So I don't think it fits around here. So this was my way of being able to express my style through my brand.
Gotcha.
Now I don't retail a lot of those things, which is funny. So it's almost like my wholesale line is completely different than my retail line.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Why?
And I've learned because the people are completely different. I wholesale mostly to Texas and the southern United States. And I retail New York, Chicago, LA,
big
more
cities.
so. Yes. So I design per which line.
Interesting.
Whether it be retail or wholesale.
Did you always think that way, or did you just kind of adapt?
I adapted.
Yeah.
Because I tried retailing my wholesale stuff and it wasn't working. And I'm like, okay. And then I've learned through like Gary Vee, and I listen to podcasts all day long. You've got to go with what your people want.
Yeah.
Like you can't fight it. Like I can be me all day long, but I have to adjust to what there's what my followers want, and I have to give them what they want. Like I think I fought it for a couple years, to be honest.
That's a tough thing to see though, and acknowledge one, like, oh, this isn't working. No, it's working over here. Why isn't it working here? It will work. But to decide, all right, this I need to change. Yeah.
They're such separate beasts.
Yeah.
But they're both very, very important to my business.
So with retail wise, how different is this stuff?
So different.
Yeah.
So our biggest seller is like a very dainty necklace that has little studs on it, like with your name.
Okay.
Very, very dainty, very classy. The bigger and the better and the bolder I am, it goes so much better at wholesale. Like people trip over it to get to it. So wholesale gives me the opportunity to be very creative. And I love that.
Now, do you do most of the wholesale contacting? Is that your role? Okay. Wholesale and retail?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I do a lot of it. And I have a hard time giving up. So I hired an assistant recently. She's in California. So she's like virtual.
What part? She by us? No?
Well,
you don't know. Just California.
I do. She works for Salesforce. So where are they at? I ship her stuff. I
They're
should know.
headquartered up north.
I ship her stuff.
I do.
You don't know.
I ship her products.
Salesforce is up. They're headquartered like San Francisco, San Jose, Palo Alto.
Melissa, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. You're the best. I just ship too much. I have everyone's addresses in my head jumbled.
Sure.
So she was like, listen, we need to revamp your wholesale. It's too busy. And I was physically talking to every single boutique owner, physically invoicing them, physically shipping to them, and then physically invoicing their shipping.
And we're talking 1,000+ people.
Well, not at all the time. Like, so let's say I have 200 bags.
Yeah.
Whoever gets those 200 bags first.
Okay.
I don't always make 1,000 bags because I don't want everyone to have the same bag.
Gotcha.
So when I make a new design, I usually buy 200 to 300. Okay. So I go to my little wholesale site and I'm like, girls, these are in, and I have pictures taken. And then whoever scoops up the first 200, get them. And then I get on the horn to ship them all out.
Dang. You ever get someone who just like buys them all up? Like
Yes,
one place.
I did that yesterday.
Oh man, that's a good feeling.
She's a good customer.
Heck
I like her. And she's one of those people that doesn't complain. It's like usually the girls that are like, when is it shipping? Where's my tracking? And it's like maddening. And it's always funny how the ones that are the big hitters, they don't have time to worry about it. They're like, it'll get here.
Yeah.
Because I got something else going on. Like, you know, their grass is always greener. Yeah. So it's interesting.
Wow. Mm-hmm. We just started a coffee company.
Oh.
Like 2 months ago.
Ish.
And so we're at like logistics wise, we're just starting. We've sold like half a bag. You know, we haven't sold shit. A bag of beans, like nothing. Yeah. But like we're at a point where we're trying to figure out logistics. All right, now at what point do we need to get to sell X number to be able to, our cost goes down, and then like, so I mean we know that's a bitch just from our super small scale.
Someone needs to run that yourself.
Well, and then you don't know if you should jump. Like if someone's like, we're gonna sell you, I don't know anything about coffee, except I like to drink it.
Okay.
I don't know how you buy your beans, or if it's like by pounds, or like if somebody says
it's per pound.
Okay, yeah. So if somebody says you buy 2,000 pounds, your cost is going to go down $2, whatever.
Yeah.
When you're first starting, you're like, well, how do I know I'm going to sell?
Right.
Right.
And I'm still to the point where like my vendors know me so well. I'll be like, hey, can you please just make me 100 this time? And he's like, why? You're going to come back next month and say I need another 200. He's like, just buy the 500 now. You're at the point, but it's like you have that mentality. I do at least of like holding it close and not knowing. It's like the unknown, but yet I don't have anything that has never sold.
Yeah.
Like I don't sit on inventory.
That's great.
So
have you ever, like when you get the 200 or 300, is it just like one bag and then you don't hold the other jewelry or anything else in storage? Or
I try not to have anything in storage because
so you've never had that. That's awesome.
I like to have it sold before it shows up on my doorstep.
Great.
I don't like assuming any risk. When I make a design, I almost like to have a sample done. I show the sample to my girls. I sell out of it. I tell the guy to make 200. I get the 200. I ship them out. Then
see, that's the
then
deal.
There's no
yeah.
lull in my money.
Yeah.
Because I take that money and I put it towards my retail. So wholesale funds my retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk more about your retail. So wholesale, understood. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Retail, are you trying to do like influencer type stuff online? Did you do it on Facebook?
Very
Did you
much
figure
so.
out like
Tons
what was
of
your
stuff,
what was
right?
your whole process with that?
Wait, and like how do you find all that stuff?
Okay.
Those people.
So we didn't do influencers right away because I feel like anybody, they're like, why am I going to pay $1,000 to this girl who I don't know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, but unfortunately, that's just not unfortunately. It's actually very fortunately because it's a miraculous thing for retailers. It works and you need to do it. And that's how advertising is nowadays. So whatever coffee you're selling, you're going to need to get it in the influencer's mouth.
That's our whole
period.
whole
Don't even spend any amount of money on, there's no other way.
Right.
And I feel like out of the people in the boutique hub, I'm one of the only ones that like ran full steam with that. Like, I feel like there's still the mentality of $1,000 for one post. And I'm like, something happened last night. I had a little too much wine and I woke up to 500.
I love when stories start like that.
But the point is I woke up to like 500 to 600 new followers, but there's got to be a reason. Somebody posted something last night, but of course I missed it.
Yeah.
And there's been so much new action on my account, I can't go back that far to see.
Oh, yeah.
So something happened, but it's all because somebody posted something. Okay. So it started with one influencer that I followed. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a doll. I just liked her hair. And then I was following her for my own personal reasons because she was adorable.
What is her?
Her name is Loverly Gray.
Okay. And what is she, like, what's her deal? What's her?
Fashion, home.
Okay.
But she had like a full 9 to 5, a husband, the cutest dog, the cutest little haircut. And she was just very sweet. Well, I started watching like her engagement rates and they were like nuts. And as a business owner, I started paying attention to it. And so I asked her for her media kit and she sent it to me. So that's how that works. I reached out to her and I'm like, do you have a media kit? Would you be interested in working with me? So she sent me her media kit. I paid her to rock one of my cowhide bags. I sold out and with her first post.
Wow.
So then I used her again when it was time. But at this point, I still wasn't sold. Like, I don't have this much money to like keep spending on an influencer. And it's not just her. I mean, she didn't do anything. Like, it's not like she's escalated. It was a very standard media kit. But then I did it again and I sold out again. And not only was I selling out, I was getting so many new followers, so many new messages, more influencers reaching out to me saying, can we, I'd like your stuff. And they're not charging just because you're getting seen.
Mm-hmm.
So she became pregnant. This story sounds funny, but
Yeah, what is I'm thinking, why does that
Do a
matter?
different story right now.
It's not like she was like running marathons. You're like, she became pregnant. She couldn't run marathons anymore.
no. But since she was such a pleasure to work with, I found out she was naming her baby Collins. So I had one of my name necklaces that I just mentioned to you to say
cool.
Collins, and I shipped it to her as a gift. I did not pay her to post it. So I didn't even know she got it because she was traveling the week that I sent it. And because you know everything because she's online. And
Right.
like she was away.
Yeah.
And I know this because I was watching.
Yeah.
So, and the next thing I know, I was like shopping in Carker Park and my phone cha-chings when I get an order because I have an app, Shopify.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like shopping and I can't find my phone, but my phone is like cha-chinging,
It's
cha-chinging,
going off.
cha-chinging. And I didn't understand. I thought something was wrong. I thought like, oh, it's stuck. But then when I finally found my phone,
Like a slot machine is stuck.
yes,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like the ding, and I was like, this can't be all orders. No, she had posted like she got home and was like, oh my God, look how cute this necklace is. So I've sold over 1,000 of those since September.
Wow.
Retail.
Oh my God. So what are we?
Because
December?
of her.
Wow.
And like I reached out to her and I was like, you didn't have to do that. She's like, but I love it. Like it was totally organic. And that's so appreciative. Like
Yeah,
to
for
me,
sure.
that's just a kind soul who I didn't ask for that. But I love to work with her.
Uh-huh.
So
How many followers does she have?
she's over,
roughly?
she's 189 right now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she's almost to 200.
Okay.
But since just September, I think now I'm up, I know like 12,000, which is a lot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you
it's
said
just-
and her engagement is high though.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many followers you have.
Yeah.
For sure.
Never.
Sure. One of my friends has like 32,000 followers. I don't know what she sells or what she like how well she does. We haven't talked about that specifically. But she'll get tons of comments. Like for 32,000, she's getting like 200 comments per
That's a
post.
lot.
That's a ton.
That's
right?
a lot.
She had one the other day. It was a giveaway type deal. And
Yeah.
it was like 800 comments.
Was she an influencer?
Yeah. Fitness, health, all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah. But like I read it and I was like, holy shit, like she's killing it with this. And she's always been like that. Like,
Yeah.
she's always really good. These long ass posts and
Yeah, I'm bad at that.
Yeah.
I'm like, buy this.
new things.
Swipe up.
So do
At the
you?
end of the day, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys read the long posts?
Depends who it is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read hers just because I think they're good. But
Okay.
most people I don't. And if it like starts with some bullshit, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm good. I'm out.
No.
I'm out.
No.
Do
It's
you-
not that serious, people. It's
Right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I know. Well, some people
Yeah.
love to
talk.
They love to talk. Love
But
to
see,
take
I
themselves
don't.
seriously.
I don't have time to read, so I'm like, buy this. So I'm like assuming no one's reading my stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, I figure my designs speak for themselves. You
Yeah.
like it? If you like it, buy it.
Yeah.
If you don't,
Yeah. It's,
thank you for stopping.
Yeah.
It's not that, and I don't care if you do or not. Like
Sure.
to be honest,
yeah. She's different where she's like, she's
she's
teaching
actually
you about,
influencing.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
not an influencer.
Sure.
Right.
Like,
So,
here's
yeah.
the product. Do you like it?
Yes.
No. All right. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Do you, when you work with the influencers, do you, I'm obviously it's different. It's tiered, I'm sure. But do you pay, like with her, do you pay and then do you do a percentage too? Like a code
For her.
for her?
Oh well, there's a lot of things I do for her.
Okay.
If I pay, so I get also offered her commission
Okay.
because I think she deserves it. If I'm continually getting sales from something she's wearing, that's because of her.
Yeah.
And the reason I know it's from her is because she has a discount code. So when people purchase the necklace, they use her code. And then at the
How
end,
much do they get off for her?
20, they get 15%
15%. And then she gets a percentage of that too?
of the whole sale
Okay.
because I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like
for
a
sure.
teamwork.
Yeah. A lot of people don't. I'm sure if she sold $1,000. I don't know what these retail for. I could probably do the math to figure it out. But she's making decent money off that.
I mean, I'm sure there's other retailers who give her a lot more money. But
Sure.
for just wearing something that she loves, I think she's fine with it. And she was like just happy that I offered it. Like she didn't ask for it. You know, it was very organic, which is what I like about her. It's not so much, I mean, it is a business, but it doesn't feel like it.
Sure. How many people are like that with you?
A lot.
Yeah. How many total influencers? And if I wanted a code, would you give me a code? Or are you pretty like picky about who you work with? I'm not getting a code.
No, you're not getting a code. She's trying to be nice.
I'll get like a pat necklace.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to get a tattoo that says the Sis Kiss.
Yeah.
Deal.
We'll put your
How much?
code on it.
How much?
Get it.
I'm starting to get pickier.
Okay. So
But
not
is that because you've been burned? Like you've seen what has worked and what hasn't worked, or?
I don't know. Well, I said to my husband, because Gary Vee's always, I know I keep bringing him up, but I just think he's so smart. And I like him because he's rapid fire. And that's how I absorb things. You know, he's always like, doesn't matter what it is. Like if someone sees your stuff on somebody, just let it go. Like that's how you do it. Like who cares who it is as long as it's being seen. But in the fashion world, I feel like sometimes if you're giving your product to just anybody and it's kind of not in my vibe, do I really want that picture out there?
Yeah, but like, that's interesting because it's like if I buy Nike doesn't want to have their stuff on me. Like it's not on Nike to have, or if it's like a serial killer and he's wearing Nike, like it's not on Nike.
No, but if I send it to them.
Right.
But it's different if you're working specifically with them. Like, hey, here's some free stuff.
And sometimes you get tired of people asking for free stuff. I mean, I get 20 to 30 messages a day. And sometimes you're like, you've got to start picking and choosing, or I would just be sending free product constantly.
We have, we've done a lot of brand work too and work with different brands. And like, we've actually run their socials. Yeah. So I've seen, and one of them was a CBD company that works in like MMA and works with a lot of athletes. We would get messages daily like, hey, can you send me some free stuff? I want sponsor stuff. But it was never like, here's my value play to you. It was send me shit.
Yes.
And it's like,
well, somebody yesterday was like, I love your clothing line. Please send me blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what clothing line? Like, do your research, people. Yeah. And then like I always.
Or maybe that's just a generic post.
It's their copy and paste. Yeah. But then I go to their page and they're not even following me. It's fine. It's not a big deal, but like at least make it genuine. I'm super genuine. And I think I work with a lot of influencers on the level of that because I'm not like, there's always a girl that I'm like, hey, oh my God, I love your shoes. Like, and she works with me a lot. And I'm like, you don't know it, but we're besties. Like, that's just the way I am. Yeah. If I'm talking to you, it's because you're in my life. Sure. And if you're not in my life, I probably don't even like, whatever. But so it's not always business to me, even though to them, they're probably like, oh my God, this girl's hitting me up again about my shoes. Right. So, but I feel like I have good relationships because I mean it. And yeah, like I've gotten to know them more on a different level.
Sure. It's not just,
it's not to me.
Some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am becoming a little choosier.
How do you run all this or does your sis?
So my sis is more behind the scenes.
Okay.
And like she is very good with details. My sister is such a perfectionist and she's awesome. Like when we're shipping out a lot of big orders and she catches things and I'm like, oh shit, thank God you caught that. I'm not good at that stuff. And that's why I think partners work well together that are so different. I mean, because we're so different. Yeah. We couldn't be any more different.
We're pretty different too. Yeah. Yeah. Even though we look alike and sound alike and move alike. From like business wise. Well, people say like we have the same walk.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. You guys pick up on do you guys live together?
No.
Across the street.
Okay. But I literally live across the street. Yeah. Since we moved to Los Angeles, I've lived with him all but like 15 months of the 4 years I've been there, 3.5 years. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of that.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first like
and then in Charlotte for 2 years.
Charlotte for 2 years. Yeah.
So you guys are close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fun, right?
Yeah. I think we've had 3 fights.
I was going to say, how do you guys get
4
along?
Fights.
Have we?
Yeah, I remember getting it was a little thing. So we were doing a football camp in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the code I don't know what it was. We were giving discount codes to people to like come.
Just anyone? No.
No, just anybody. We were getting pretty picky.
We don't care. Just come for free.
But like, I don't know, the code was Megan or whatever, and it was 15%. And Tim sent the code to somebody else, and it wasn't Megan. Like we were trying to do custom quote unquote.
Oh, I kind of remember this.
And they said he's like, I just gave him the Megan code.
No, but it wasn't like Megan. It was like X1234.
Yeah,
like
whatever.
But it wasn't specific to that person.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
It was generic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was still like it was a little thing, and I was like, bro, just take the 5 minutes to do it. And he was like, it doesn't matter. And I was like, it does matter though. Like it's a little thing. It matters to me. I think it matters to them. It was generic, but not like super generic. And then I think like he left, and it wasn't even like a big like we weren't fighting, punching, or we weren't yelling. No, but like he left.
No, it's and
then we saw him like 4 hours later, and I was like, all right, are we getting
because you kept bringing it up, and I was like, I'm not just gonna sit here and listen to you talk about this stupid code, so I'm just gonna go for a walk or go work out at a coffee shop. I forget what I did, but I remember that.
Yeah, you weren't listening to me.
Yeah.
When's your birthday? I know you're January.
December 8th.
You're December.
I'm 11 months older.
I'm a Sag.
So we're both born 84. I was January.
You're Irish twins.
Yeah, our Irish twins. Look at you. Yeah.
That's why you guys get along.
Sure.
Yeah, I think my sister and I have a good gap, and I think that's good. Yeah. And then I think Irish twins. It's like, I don't know. It's like when they're 2 years apart. You're like constant fighting.
I don't
At
know.
least little kids.
I don't know. We don't know.
Our sisters. Well,
She's
she's
a
2 years
year-
younger than me.
Yeah, a year and a half younger than me.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys all get along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to say it on.
No,
She-
we
On air.
We
She
always
is
have.
effing
Yeah, she's the
bitch.
worst.
No.
And then
yeah.
the gap was George. George
George.
is 6
Our
years
older
older
brother,
than me, 5
you
years older
know.
than Pat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's 6 years older than me.
Yep.
Or
6 me.
That's why he doesn't
65
talk
me.
about you guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucker. Yeah.
George, if
different.
you're listening,
Yo,
you
he's
have a
gonna
lot
listen.
of backstories to tell.
Yep.
I feel like we need to catch up.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Hmm.
So you're at a place now where you're doing well. What?
I'm busy.
Right. That's well.
I don't know what well is.
Yeah.
And my husband's always like, babe, you're killing it. You know, but
Uh-huh.
I'm always like, but what if I could be killing it more?
Sure. So how do you change? I guess it's kind of a cool business where you're constantly changing and innovating anyway.
Yes.
So it's not like, all right, we're making, I don't know, cups or something. And you're like, well, how can we make the newest, coolest cup? It's jewelry. There's always that.
But there's still like, as soon as these necklaces blew up, I'm like, everyone owns them now. Literally.
What's next?
What's next?
Do you do special things like holidays, Valentine's? Like
yeah.
how much?
Wholesale. So like
Okay.
my wholesale group now has like a whole Valentine's Day collection.
Okay.
But retail no.
Have you made any like custom? Obviously, if I wanted a Pat one, you'd make it. But if I was like, I don't know why Mariah Carey was the first celebrity name that came in my head. Mariah Carey, a Mariah Carey line. Have you thought about going that route to like a big celebrity type?
Yes, I have. And
Okay.
I've talked to I'm in the talks with an influencer about having her own collection.
Okay, that's cool.
And I think that'll be awesome. But I want it to be and like her. I want it to feel like
So she'll design, have at least to a point.
yeah.
Do you? Will then it be that line specifically? Will she get a portion of the line? Like, do you almost
Sure.
become business partners with her, or do
Or
you
is
pay
it a
her
separate
for her
business?
licensing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it won't be separate. Well, that's a good question. My thought was,
TBD.
this is your line. Let's get commission off of your line.
Okay.
And then, but we haven't gotten that far. This is very brand new.
Yeah.
Within the last week.
Oh, cool.
But I'm starting with a PR firm in March.
Okay. So
So-
you told us before you went to LA for last week.
Yes.
But so you officially signed and working with them?
No.
Or will be?
I will be.
Okay.
So I asked for March.
Well, they're going to hear this and then jack
Yeah.
the price up.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to show
We have
them.
new rates.
Yeah.
In 2019.
No, I already have the contract.
Okay.
So I already know their rates.
Okay.
And actually, they're really cool because you can tell them your budget. So, like, they give you a range.
And then here's what we'll do.
Here's what'll fit in it.
If you want to do in the middle, this is what you're getting.
Mhm.
So I kind of figured they have two offices, one in LA, maybe you guys know better than I, and one in New York. So one's like celebrity dressing, which is the LA, and then in New York it's editorial, TV, podcasts.
Uh-huh.
But I want both. So you
Sure.
can pay for one office. And so
That's
only have
weird.
the
That's
team.
interesting.
Gotcha.
So like if I only wanted LA to work on my brand, then it would just be one fee for celebrity dressing.
Okay.
But you know, I want some substance. So, and I
Sure.
love podcasts
Yeah.
and I want the editorial. So I want both.
So then you pay like for both.
Mm-hmm.
So then do you have two different people or two
Two
different groups?
like groups. Same company, but like different offices. And
Have you heard of that?
They
I haven't heard
split
that.
No.
Yeah. Because usually it's
but
just
it
like
kind
if
of
you-
makes sense if you think
Yeah.
about it, because their New York offices got their fingers on what
Yeah.
they need,
Yeah.
and their LA people. You can't know everyone from every location, and I'm
Sure.
learning that. Like my husband travels, and I was always on his case. Like, can't you just have this meeting over the phone? Why does it always have to be over like expensive wine
Yeah.
in New York City? The more I do this business, like I flew out to LA and I met some influencers that now I have amazing relationships with just because we went to dinner.
Yeah.
And like we wouldn't have had that if we were just DMing. And I feel like now more than ever that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally.
I think people lose out on that because of the internet.
Yeah. Even like when we do, like talking about podcasts, you did a podcast a couple weeks ago or whenever it was on the phone. And like we've talked about doing, like, do we do Skype or do we, how do we do it and get to like more people or like talk to more people? But it's like, it's so much better. We
vibe.
sat down here. Yeah. We sat down here for a little bit. We never met you.
Yeah.
We didn't know you before
Right.
an hour ago. But to sit down here and
Now
talk.
you're going to tattoo my name.
Yeah. Now I got the
yeah.
Sis Kiss on my chest.
Now you're a
how far
permanent
we've come.
ambassador.
For $10 million, I'll
Yeah.
do it. And maybe like 2 people will buy something.
That's awesome. But
Yeah.
I'm getting a little choosier now. So
Yeah. Okay. I'm out.
we'll talk later.
I'm out of the game.
She's retracting her offer
Yeah.
now.
That's interesting to me. Have you ever heard of a PR company doing that?
Splitting it completely? No.
Even to be like open with it instead of being like, hey, here's all the things we can do, and then we've signed you, and now it's like, oh, hey, you have a question about that? Like, that's LA. Here's the number. Here's New York. Here's for that.
But it's smart. Look, they got me to pay for both offices.
Yeah.
Because who wants to hear the whole package and then cut one? Like, no, I want it all.
Yeah.
But they're willing to work with me. Like, it doesn't mean like that I have to pay the highest price. Like, okay,
sure.
we'll give us your budget and then we'll take pieces from each office and make it work.
So starting in March, how different will your marketing promotional?
I have no idea.
You haven't gone as far as like plans or like
I know what I want. Like, I want to be on more podcasts. I want to be in Vogue. I want my stuff on the Today Show. So you make that happen. So I don't know how different it'll look. I just know every time I've asked them, is this something you can do? They say yes.
Sure.
So far, they're yes people. We'll see if
that's fairly typical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good or bad. I mean, you
but this is my first time with PR, so it's going to be a trial and error.
Yeah.
But like I told my husband, I bounce a lot of things off of him. He's very smart, very business oriented. I would love for him to be involved. But anyway, I'm like, there's no point in doing PR for 1 month because you can pay month to month.
Okay.
Now they're definitely not getting a copy of this.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, let's say I pay him for 1 month only just to get my feet wet. Well, it takes longer than a month. Even if a celebrity picks up my necklace, maybe they don't wear it for 3 months and maybe nobody photographs it. Like, you need to be continual. I think whatever you're doing, you need to be continual to have a result. So I'm going to budget for 6 months and see, or let's say I'm in Vogue one time. Like, who knows if anyone will see that?
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's something that takes time.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, we do stuff like that ish. We're not a PR firm, but we've worked with brands, brand marketing, social, all that stuff.
Right.
And we don't like to sign deals less than 3 months.
Well, because they're like, that was a waste of money. I didn't get any new followers. And you're like, give it a minute.
Yeah. And your page was shit, and your branding was shit, and how you speak about the company was shit for the last year and a half. So now, like, give us a month to kind of change that,
and
give
then
us a month to start moving,
and then give it another month for people to see it.
Yeah,
and even it's 3 like months losing weight. Nothing. I mean, you know how they say like it takes. So I hired a brand girl back in last March, and she made my feed look phenomenal, and it was something I had never thought about. Okay, now I think it's like your resume. I truly think that the aesthetics of your feed is your resume, and if you're not spending money on it, you are losing out.
Sure.
In my business.
Yeah.
In the fashion world.
Sure.
And she made me see that. And now I'm addicted to her. She kind of taught me what she was doing. So I kind of mirrored her. And I think my feed looks pretty good now, but it looked phenomenal when she did it. She was, I need to take the money from her and do it myself and kind of like put the money towards the PR. So I'm doing it myself, but now I'm like obsessive about it. Because you're like, that doesn't go with the post 4 days ago. And the corners aren't aesthetically matching up. But now that I look back at other brands that don't have an aesthetically pleasing site, I'm like, oh, that hurts my eyes.
It, right?
It changed me. And I think it's changed how people reach out to me. I feel like I'm more legitimate. And it sounds ridiculous, but it's all part of who my brand is.
Yeah. We had a brand we worked with, and it was so frustrating. And they were paying us decent, but it was like, we would post some stuff, and then he'd be like, oh, I wanted to share that I took a picture with this person. And it's like, and
like, but that doesn't work into the feed, dude.
No, it looks terrible. And it looks shit. And then he'd do like, I doubt he listens, but like if he doesn't, I want him to hear it. But like the dumbest shit. And he would post like, I'm here. Like, who else is at this event? And it's like this weird looking selfie with his face. And it's like, dude, look at, like, we finally, after this time of you putting shit content up, we started to have like a week of good content. Right. And it looks decent.
Which took time.
Yeah. For sure it did.
Yeah.
We set up photo shoots and video shoots with these other like professionals in their space.
But even like it takes time for your feed to look like that.
Right.
I paid her longer than I thought because it was like starting to come together. And then I was like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally hear you. And like if I had a giveaway and they give you like a photo, like she'd be like pissed. Like, fuck is this? This does not fit into my week of your. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like people would ask me to do a giveaway and I'm like, I'd have to talk to my brand. I have to talk to my branding girl to see if I'm allowed.
Sure.
They'd be like, really? I'm like, yeah.
How often do you do giveaways and stuff like that?
Not very often.
No. I saw one the other day. Just looking at the
For me?
Yeah.
Did I do it? Or was somebody else giving it away?
No,
I probably had an influencer.
I mean, it could have been within the last like month or something, but I like just flipping through looking at it.
Yeah. Not that often.
No.
Yeah. I just feel like it's not organic. I mean, they're just following me now just because they want something for free.
Sure.
You know?
But if they come there, like if I don't, that's the whole thing, like of being in Vogue. I never heard of you.
That's true.
And now I see it.
That's true.
Like,
and now I actually do like it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But it's not something I want to do all the time.
Sure.
I don't want my feed full of giveaways.
Yeah. Do you do a lot with other people on their pages though?
Yeah, like I had a lot of influencers reach out for me for Christmas. So
Sure.
like, hey, I'm going to do a 12-day giveaway. Do you want to be a part of it? Those have been really successful. And I love that because then now I already know that those people follow that influencer because of her style. And now she's bringing my brand into it and we have an alignment together, meaning like aesthetically. So why not? And then I feel like all her followers are like, oh, look at this brand. How cute she is.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think has been like the worst relationship part of influencers like that you've worked with, or bad things that they've done that hasn't worked for you? Besides just being like, hey, this is my necklace.
When they don't talk about it. I like the ones that are like, look how it looks good with this. And they try it on with different outfits. That makes the sale. The stagnant post, which costs more money than the stories. Like I never want that. Like I'm always like, give me the cheaper stories. I'll take it all day long. I'll even pay more for it. But until somebody starts talking about it in their stories and gives like a swipe up link, you don't get any sales. Because people are scrolling, I think, through stagnant photos. At least I am. But if I have a minute and I'm going to watch a story, I'm like, oh, look how cute she looks. I personally buy more stuff from stories. And I just swipe up and I'm like, look how cute it looked when she paired it with those boots. And now I need those boots.
Yeah.
And I've bought more shit.
Yeah.
Do you do stuff on like other, aside from Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest maybe?
I hired someone who just set up my Pinterest page.
Gotcha.
And now I have someone behind the scenes who looks at all my code stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
You know that stuff. And she's like, your Pinterest page is killing it. So I'm like, oh, is it? Like, I don't. Awesome.
Cool.
Like, I didn't know that my new pins were converting.
Okay.
But because she can see now, she made me upgrade. Like, she's like, look, spend the extra blah, blah, blah a year to get the accelerated plan
the
on
analytics
shop.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow. But she reads them for me and she's like, now I know what works and what doesn't. And now I see how important that is.
I could see our Pinterest being solid in that.
And you know, I wasn't even on Pinterest until I hired this girl this summer. Like, I just didn't have the time.
How much are you, if I'm one of your influencers posting, how much are you telling me what to do or not at all?
Not at all.
Like, do your thing.
Yeah.
You don't want, like, if I was like, buy this fucking thing, and you're like, hey, we don't say fuck with the branding. Like,
well, that would not be me. I mean, I sell fuck rings.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
They're old English.
I need a fuck ring.
Actually, the guy who makes them for me, he kept one for himself because I designed it. And he was like, this is so badass. Can I have one? And he took a picture, and he's a skateboarder. Oh, cool. And I'll have to show you his picture. But yeah, we'll get you a ring. We'll get you a code.
Deal.
Just because you let me come on.
Right? Yes. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I will. It's awesome. No, that's the whole thing about my brand is if you're not cool with being yourself, whether it's you say fuck or not, I don't care if you swear.
Yeah.
It's you just be you. And now I'm happy with you because it has to be authentic.
That's
like,
cool.
That's completely what I'm about.
If they ask you like, hey, I'm not sure if I should do this or that, or it's like, hey, do your thing. If you can't sell it, goodbye.
I actually get annoyed when they ask me questions. Like, I'm don't ask me any questions, which I know sounds terrible, but I'm like, you got this. That's your job.
There's a reason you're working with them anyway.
You got this, Bill. Like, just do you. I'm going to be over here doing me.
Yeah.
If it works, it works. If you tell them what to do, it's not organic, and their followers know that.
But there's also like, I guess our brands and different people we worked with are way different than we never done jewelry or anything like that, or fashion in general. I guess like yoga clothes. But
like apparel.
Sometimes people do the most basic shit, and maybe it was a bad decision to try to work with that person. But they're like, "Hey, buy this Nike shoes,"
and they have no personality.
Yeah,
but then you live and learn. Like if I were like micromanaging that, I don't think that would have worked in either.
Sure.
So let them be them, and then you see and you go from there. Now I've used people I've never used again. I'm going to tell you, I go back to that Lovely Gray all the time because she works. I don't tell her what to do. She does people love her for who she is. So I'm not going to step on that.
When you create new things, are you thinking like, oh, this is going to be great for her or great for Tim or Pat or?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like if I have a new product, I'll be like, shit, this will look so good on Anna. And then I'll like contact Anna and be like, oh my God. And she'll be like, sure. Or if I have something new coming, I'll give them an option. Like, do you like this even? And sometimes they're like, it's not really my vibe. And I'm like, that's cool. Like,
so
it'll be someone else's jam.
You've already designed it though.
Sometimes I usually do. So if I do this new collaboration with this girl that I'm speaking to about having her own collection, then she'll have her hands in the design.
Right.
But typically I have my own.
Do you ever like just as an involvement thing, like, hey, I'm thinking either here or there with this one thing, and send it out to 10 people, like, what do you girls think? No.
The wholesale girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like the girls that buy 30, 40 pieces at a time. Yeah. All the time. Like, hey, do you think your customers are going to like this cowhide better in the white or in the brown? Because they know their customers.
Right. Just like an influencer.
Those girls are so successful. Like those boutique owners, they work their asses off, and they know their customers, and their customers go there and pay the prices because of them. So I ask their input all day long.
That's cool. I bet they appreciate it, because how many other people that do what you do are doing that for them?
It would be stupid not to.
Do you know how many? You don't know if they do?
I don't know what anybody else is ever doing, to be honest.
I don't know if they come and you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. You ask me.
Yeah, some of them love like helping
people, like to be involved in shit.
And then when when the product is done, they're like, well, give me 30. I had a hand in that. I mean, that's not why I do it, to be honest with you.
Sure.
And now I have relationships with a lot of these girls. Like they got Christmas cards, and I send them presents. One just had a baby, because I genuinely think they're badass. And if you work your ass off, then I genuinely like you.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah, it was. This is like such a space I don't know anything.
Yeah, I know. Actually, that was going to be my question before you try to shut us down.
Yeah,
here, Pat.
Seriously.
So she's got to pick up her kid in 2
hours. If someone wanted to start a jewelry business or a fashion business online, I think for things that you were doing, most likely would be like an Etsy store or something.
Right.
What would you recommend after going through everything? How to do, or would just do?
Don't do Etsy.
Yeah, don't do Etsy. You say?
I've never done Etsy.
Okay.
But so I don't know the Etsy world. I think a lot of people are killing it on Etsy. I just don't know if the space is going there.
Yeah. Do you think it was because you just didn't know, or is it different type of fashion? Like, I don't know Etsy. I've never had a.
I feel like Etsy's
Etsy page
more
or anything, but
crafty.
Yeah.
But I could be completely wrong, because I was on there a while ago and I was like, this isn't handmade. It started with, if you were on Etsy, you had to have something handmade.
Right.
Huh.
This shit is not handmade.
Yeah.
So I think it's evolving.
This shit is not handmade.
This is a big, bold lie.
Yeah.
So I can't speak on it, because I honestly don't. Like Pinterest. I didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I know what I know, and I know it well. But the shit I don't know, I know nothing about Etsy. But I do know that it gets into like a whole world of reward style. So your influencers are part of this thing called reward style. So they can put their reward style link on their blog. Etsy is one of the places that connects to their reward style. So they would get a commission every time.
Gotcha.
I'm not on Etsy. I'm not on reward style. So that is a bummer to maybe some that don't want to work with me, because they're not getting that small commission every time, because they can't connect my store to their.
I wonder if there's a way that there's a gap. Like, if you could like just create an Etsy storefront that basically pushes it to your Shopify, and they could still get that.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Because if we do this collaboration where she has a collection, it would need to go through Etsy so she can get.
Gotcha.
So but
it could just be her collection on Etsy. Then.
Yeah.
Oh,
but sure. I have my website girl, who's phenomenal. I hate to call her my website girl, because she's like a dear friend.
Yeah.
But she's badass. But she's working on it.
So everyone on your team works remotely, though?
Yes.
That's cool.
Except Jill.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Kind of remote.
Jill's our sister-in-law who lives across the street from Megan.
Yeah. Yes. Now I've just hired her, and she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And not just because I'm sitting here. I told my husband all the time, I'm like, I'm so happy I took this leap.
That's not what you said before we started recording.
Now you have the whole thing on video.
Yeah.
She can watch it.
All right.
It's not true, Jill. No, Jill's a very, very hard worker. And I like that she does things without me telling her. And she double checks things that I'm not asking her to do. She catches my mistakes. I have a ton of them. Like, details oriented is not
your jam.
It's not. I wish it was. But I feel like if you surround yourself with the people who do the things that you don't do well, you're going to do well. And let everyone do their job. Like, I don't try to tell her. Like, she's always like, are you sure you just want me to like? And I'm like, yeah, you got this. Yeah. So I'm glad that I took the leap and I trusted some people.
That's not because a strong point.
Until I started hiring people this year, I feel like I've grown so much more and like at first I was like, well, I don't know if I want to pay. Like, I kept telling my husband, like, I don't know if I want to pay. Like, I just don't want to. And he was like, babe, you need, like, I couldn't physically do it all anymore. So then I hired Melissa in wherever she lives, USA.
Yeah. Somewhere out west.
That girl that's like in Hawaii. Yeah. I hired her. And then I was getting so much more done and making more money. So then I was like, well, now it's Christmas. I need
this
someone
is
to help
working.
me. Then I hired Jill. Then she freed up a lot of my time for me to be doing something else, and I was making more money. And I don't mean like, but just that's what's happening. And then I hired someone to do my website and my emails. And I'm like, holy shit, look how much money's coming in because she created this email. So it's like the teamwork.
Yeah. And now within a year, you'll have
PR.
hired all those people and now a PR team.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully
wild.
going to Fashion Week in New York.
Why couldn't you go?
What's
Do you have-
hopefully?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I think that we have a clothing brand that's walking in the fashion show. So
Oh,
she's
okay.
trying to partner with me so I accessorize her girls.
Oh,
Perfect.
So I'm really hoping that works.
When will you find that out?
February,
When's Fashion Week?
September. But I already
Oh,
booked a
okay.
room, so
Oh,
if
so
anything-
it's happening.
if anything, I
It's
have to
happening.
go.
Yeah, it's going down.
And
Yeah.
never been before.
Yeah.
never been.
Cool.
No, it would be a very proud moment.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a
That'll be
slam
a-
dunk for your PR agency. Like,
But
here,
they
I'm
didn't-
already giving you
I
this.
know.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
friend was like, what? I'm like, well, I want to set up a brunch and like have all the influencers that are going to New York Fashion Week come to my brunch
Oh, that's good.
with
yeah.
like a photographer and a
Yeah.
step and repeat and champagne. So I'll let PR handle that because
Yeah.
hopefully they can work out a deal.
There was so I'm reading this book, Do Cool Shit, by Mickey Agarwal.
I think I've heard of this.
I saw her speak once and I bought her book. I thought she was really cool. She's had 4 different companies now. Well, it started with a pizza company she opened in New York, a pizza shop. Then something had to do with period blood panties, and then
Totally.
peeing.
Pat bought those.
Yeah, and then
Merry Christmas.
then postmenopausal underwear for like pee, and then and that
I love the
Yeah.
motions. Yeah.
yeah, and pee.
Wait, it started with pizza.
Pee.
Went to
Yeah.
blood. Pee.
So it's all peas,
Pizza.
all peas.
Oh my God.
Pizza, period, pee, and then poop. She now has a bidet company called Tushy. But what she did is for New York Fashion Week, it was somewhere with the underwear line. And what she did, she had this like super elaborate thing. She wanted to get all like the big people who write about fashion to go to her event. And it wasn't at the New York Fashion Week, like wherever it's held, it was like somewhere else. So she had these big blocks of like stone on, or she put the invite and then put blocks of stone around it. So you had to go in and she gave you a hammer. So you had to go with a hammer and stone and like open it. So it was this big ordeal
To be invited.
just to be invited and
Yeah.
then just to open it.
Right.
So like it's this huge turnout, and it was just super creative how she invited them, because I'm sure there's a gazillion options that week.
What is right? Well, that's what I was worried about. Like I was
Yeah.
going to be sitting alone at my brunch, drinking all my champagne with my
Yeah.
photographer.
Yeah.
But
Can,
then
can
my
you get another picture from that angle?
ask the waiter to come in.
Yeah, right.
No, but I got to trust my PR firm that will
Sure.
know what they're doing, and then
Yeah.
they'll invite the right people. But you know me, I started reaching out to my favorite influencers. Like,
Well, definitely. Why not?
well, I don't know how this works. And my friend was like, "Girl, your PR firm's going to do that." And I'm like, "Oh, I was going to create really cute invitations."
Yeah.
I don't know. It also looks good coming from the founder too, instead of the PR
It
company.
But
becomes a
why
big
do
deal,
they
too.
want to come? That's my thing. Like they've got bigger
Well-
things to do. We know this.
Maybe, but
Maybe, yeah.
it's a lot cooler if
Yeah, I
you
guess.
invite than as opposed to
Definitely.
like
I want to
Jimmy
have a
and Joe's
piercer,
PR company.
like a piercer
That's cool.
come,
Yeah.
and then they buy my earrings to put in their.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's kind of my thing. Like what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
We go to a
Or
lot
like
of
little
events
girl
and see
power
shit like that.
tattoos
Yeah.
or something. Like I have a tattoo artist.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
I
Just
don't know how many
something-
people are getting girl power tattoos, but maybe.
I don't want a girl power
There's
tattoo.
even a I know,
but
right?
it's good for the gram.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, even like I was at an event recently, and it was a fitness event, but they had a hair braider there. They had 3 hair braiders.
Right.
So you're going in
It
there
has
and
nothing to do with fitness.
nothing.
But it's cool.
But it's cool. You want to do something with your hair anyway, so you can work
Totally.
out. And now you're posting about it. Now your hair looks good, so you're like, oh, this is great, and thanks for the braids by Megs.
Maybe I'll give Botox.
There you go.
Oh.
Who doesn't want Botox?
Yeah,
I don't know.
everyone.
Let me see your foreheads. Everybody raise your eyebrows. You can come to my party.
I got some.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of like I don't know. I
Different
think like an
creative.
ear piercer would be an amazing because I love
It's cool and
I
different.
think that's fitting. Yeah, for
and
sure.
then and then it also lends to sociability of it, but then also post like after the event, there's still stuff.
Instagrammable.
Yeah,
Anything that's Instagrammable.
for sure.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll do this again, and then next time you'll have gone to fashion.
That's
Week.
right.
Yeah.
We will.
Next fall.
I won't
Let's
have
do it.
time to meet with you people next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. We'll do the
thanks.
Skype time, the Skype call in
What?
next
Yeah.
time.
I'll have a fee next time.
Yeah. Be $10,000 to call her.
And I want your coffee.
Yeah.
Deal.
Can you tell me about your coffee?
Sure, Timmy.
Oh,
Timmy's the coffee
Here he
brand
goes.
leader.
Yeah, so basically the coffee brand is called Our City Coffee.
Okay.
So ourcitycoffee.com.
Coffee.
Yeah, so the idea was let's create a brand that we could stay local and customizable, everything local, that it could also scale across the country.
Because it's our city.
Our City Coffee Los
Exactly.
Angeles
Yeah.
is where we're launching first.
Yeah.
Everything is roasted locally, hired locally, give back locally. So every bag of beans in Los Angeles specifically, we're working with the school systems where we're trying to do like a 1-for-1 where it's you buy a bag of beans, we'll feed a kid a lunch during the school year or
That
breakfast.
sounds nice, but how's
something
it
like that.
taste?
Oh,
Delicious.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
It's like,
yeah.
Forget the kids.
Yeah.
We met with like 4 different places there, and we're like,
Some roasters,
I don't know
yeah.
if this one's the move.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good.
How are you going to market it?
Well,
We have a lot
So, like-
of plans.
yeah. So
Do you?
ours is a
Yeah.
little different as far as like marketing, where it's like we'll go straight influencer type stuff. Like the first one, we're partnering with the LAUSD, which is the LA Los Angeles something school district.
Unified
School
System,
District.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we'll work with them. They'll help promote. But then also like Megan comes to us and she says, hey, I want to do this thing and it aligns with what we want to do. Well, all right. So proceeds for the community coffee now goes all straight to your
Right.
charity.
I see.
So we'll work.
My local.
Yes.
Right.
I see.
So there's also other things being local in a school, localized in the city. People are very passionate just because they basically live in that city. So
Right.
sports teams are a big one. So all
Sure.
like the Rams, Los Angeles Rams, the soccer teams, the
Dodgers.
Lakers, the Dodgers, all of those
Yeah.
we're already in conversation with. And then the big one that I think that will give us a lot of legs is Yelp. We're working with Yelp locally in Los
Yeah.
Angeles. Well, Yelp in LA is massive. They have like 1 million subscribers. So creating various events with them and doing some digital stuff, creating fireside chat. Like coffee's so easy to do. Like
I know.
a lot of
Yeah.
money, and you
Everyone
can get
drinks
so
coffee.
creative.
Well,
with
you
a lot of
guys are
people.
going to have to ditch the podcast and get on TV so your guests can sip your coffee.
We are on TV. We're on YouTube.
We're
They'll
not
be-
going to show this, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be on YouTube.
We don't get views on YouTube. We get our listens, but
Yeah, this is more or less.
but this is
another option.
But this also gives us an ability to cut up video and
Yeah.
put up 3 to 5 posts per
I hear you.
podcast. You know? I forgot what I was going to say there. Something about that.
Coffee
Coffee.
tasting.
Oh, sipping
also-
it on camera.
Yeah. Also, with with what we do, like normally and how we make money is through video and marketing. So we have that ability to already
Yeah.
create the content. We don't have to hire somebody
Right.
else to do that. We're doing it. So like when we go to Yelp and we'll create all this content, they'll just be our PR firm.
Right. Oh.
Essentially, because hey, with this content now we'll go to like we'll do a feature with Yelp. So not only will we be a part of like events and different stuff that they do, but we can go and say, all right, we're gonna do 5 features on different local restaurants that are good.
Right.
So
Coffee with this owner, coffee with that
Yeah.
owner, and it's just
Oh, that's cute.
so then we'll create Current Media, which is our media company. We'll create it. It can be in partnership with Our City Coffee. So we're getting double promo there, and then we're in a restaurant that might. Ideally,
get-
we can
Right.
not
Sell
only
the coffee
purchase
too.
the coffee, but then maybe they want to do media work or
Right.
marketing
Yeah.
or
Oh,
so it really can be kind of twofold.
look
there.
at you.
yeah.
Yeah, we're
Why
trying
coffee?
We like it.
We like coffee a lot. I
It's
think it was more.
a-
We had like the business model idea more or
Mm-hmm.
less, and then coffee just fit
into
so
it.
perfectly. into
See?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, why wouldn't I want a smaller bracelet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
take the need and go.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
good. I can't wait to hear more
Well,
and to try the coffee.
We gave
Yes.
George a bag, so
no, we didn't.
Who?
steal that.
He still
steal
has
that from
it, yeah.
George.
Our brother George.
Yeah.
Who
Who's
you don't
that
even
guy?
know,
Yeah.
really. You thought you knew.
I mean, his wife works for me, but
Right.
I like his dogs. Forget George.
Right.
Yeah.
His dogs are great.
Right. Megan, the Sis Kiss.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for
Thank
having me.
you.
It's been very fun.
Thank you. Podcast number 14 in the books. We thank you for listening with Megan. That was a really fun one. She's got super great energy to her and just how her creative process is and how she works through her business. You can see all of her rings and all of her other stuff at thesiskiss.com. Again, thesiskiss.com. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsor of the podcast, Our City Coffee. Us, and we're not paying for it. And you can get 15% off your next purchase at ourcitycoffee.com. Use the code BS. Again, that's BS at ourcitycoffee.com. Goodbye.